higher levels, supporter, benefactor, lifetime, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
That's what I need to get myself up to date with.
oh yeah, sure. And I made a little.
I've sent you some money, but I
crib
don't know
seat
that
for
I've sent you any money lately.
No, you and your wife have been very generous
So,
to us over the years.
yeah.
And before we get going, I'm gonna miss you, man.
Yeah.
You have done a lot, not only for the Discovery Center, but a lot of people around here.
Well,
And,
you're very kind.
No, it's well worth it. You have earned it.
Well, it's
So.
been my, and you'll be seeing me. We got grandkids, and you'll be one of our stops. Actually, Karen and I were already talked about. At some point we need to we'll have full days now. We're going to probably bicycle to Pocomoke and have lunch, and maybe stop to see you, and then bicycle home.
There you go.
So now that we got time to do that sort of thing.
Right.
So.
Hey Brian?
Yes.
Can you just talk to Spicer Bell, maybe how you spell your name and how you want your title to read on screen?
Can I just be anonymous?
No.
No. My name is Brian Garrett, BrianGarrett, and I'm the Executive Director at the Delmarva Discovery Center.
Okay, and we'll get contact information and what have you. And
where should I put my paper? I don't really want to read from it and look like I'm reading.
You can have it on your lap, or you can put it on the desk there to your left if you'd like. But if you need to reference it, you can. It's no big deal.
Just like that.
So this is out of frame then?
Yeah, it's out of frame.
Yeah. Okay.
If you can keep from rattling it before you answer, that's fine. You can check it.
I click my pens. Tom doesn't like me clicking.
Yeah,
the pen.
Yeah, but so if you want to check, check your papers and then talk to Spicer.
Well, I mean, I think
if I'm talking, he'll have switched to this camera on me anyway. So if you want to check,
right, I probably really don't need it.
You'll be fine.
I just.
Are you just using it as a crutch? Is that
no, I typed it up so I know what I wanted to say. But now that I've typed it up, I pretty much know the information.
Okay, good.
So I'll just hold it here for right now.
All right.
And then at the end, it will say if you missed anything, you can go over, and then we can insert it later.
Okay.
There's no big deal there.
All right, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Spicer, whenever you're ready. Oh my gosh, he's falling asleep again.
Nope.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Just a quick note.
Whenever you're ready.
Welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Spicer Bell. I'm the president of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. And through this series of programs, we'd like to shine the Community Foundation Spotlight on nonprofit organizations that are making a difference in our region. And my guest today is Brian Garrett. Brian, welcome.
Thank you, Spicer. Good to be here.
Great. Brian is the executive director of the Delmarva Discovery Center that's located in Pocomoke. And we're going to be telling you about the Delmarva Discovery Center. Right up front, I'm going to tell all of our viewers it's worth the ride from the Salisbury area, Brian.
Absolutely, yes. It's a fantastic place.
Yeah, it is. Brian, what is the Delmarva Discovery Center, and what's your mission there?
Okay, well, the Delmarva Discovery Center is a nature heritage tourism center. We provide exhibits about the history of Delmarva and across the entire peninsula, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, not just Pocomoke. We cover everything from Native American history all the way throughout time, the ecology of the Pocomoke River, commercial fishing, decoy carving, and then we have special exhibits that highlight either certain periods of time, communities, or artists. The mission of the Discovery Center is to serve as a source of learning for the public through the interpretation and, oops, I flubbed it. I know it by heart too.
That's why people watch PAC 14.
Okay, preservation, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Take it up from the mission.
Okay. The Delmarva Discovery Center serves as a source of learning for the public through the preservation and interpretation of our cultural and natural heritage. We provide group tours, general admission visitation, special programs, and all sorts of things for people to learn about the area and experience the wonder of Delmarva.
Great. And I've seen some of your billboards on on Route 13. I think you've got one of them that's a turtle.
Yes.
It says "Come to the Discovery Center." Or
exactly.
Yep. So, and for example, if you have young people kids or grandkids, you've got some hands-on things that they can do there, don't you?
Absolutely. It's sort of a non-traditional museum environment. We have built a lot of the scenery. So, for example, when you go into the Native American exhibit, you can go into the Native American lodge and be the inhabitant. Or in the commercial fishing area, we have an interactive where you can try your hand at oyster tonging. We also have a fantastic 6,000-gallon aquarium. It's a tremendous exhibit. It gives you a below-the-water view of what it's like under the water, featuring native fish of Delmarva. And it's been a great tool for kids and families, but also for the school groups to be able to offer an experience like that here on the shore. It's the largest public exhibit of that nature in the area.
I was going to say, that's probably the largest aquarium on the Eastern Shore, isn't it?
It's the largest public one.
Public one, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they probably have some big ones at places like Horn Point Lab or something like that.
Exactly.
Well, great. How did the Delmarva, how did this ever come to existence in Pocomoke? I know the history, but we're going to...
Sure, yeah, and it's a good question because you know, now that we're up and running and more people have come to visit us, one of the biggest responses I get all the time is when people walk into the first gallery and they're sort of taken back by the quality and scale of the project. They always go, well, why is this in Pocomoke? And I take that honestly as the biggest compliment I can get, because that means we've exceeded their expectations of what they thought they'd find.
Because some folks in Pocomoke had some real vision.
Absolutely. The project at its inception really started out as a discussion about how to revitalize downtown Pocomoke. Historically, the highway went right through the middle of town, so Market Street was Route 13. And when the bypass came, that moved the economic center of town out along the thoroughfare. And the downtown businesses, which are fantastic businesses, and many of them have been there for generations, weren't getting the traffic that they had historically gotten. So concerned citizens, business folks, county commissioners, city council, etc., all in the mid-90s started trying to think about what can we do to not only preserve this wonderful historic downtown, but to breathe new life into it. And through various feasibility studies and stakeholder input, the Discovery Center vision was born. And then over a long process of developing the exhibits, capitalizing on the history of the area, and using the Pocomoke River as a conduit to tell this story, because it is a unique story, quite frankly, that you couldn't tell from some other locations. The Pocomoke River is the only river on the peninsula that physically connects Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, and thus allows us to seamlessly tell this story from one location. And it was germinated from there. It grew into this wonderful set of drawings that were great at picturing what could be done with this space. And then we brought in a fantastic professional fabrication company that brought those drawings to life. And the building is absolutely beautiful. And I think the economic revitalization aspect of it is really coming to fruition with what's happening downtown now.
Here was this old, dilapidated automobile dealership building right next to the river. I remember first time I was in it, it was full of pigeons, and you could look up and see the sky.
It had skylights
through the holes in the roof. But it's just been amazing transformation, and we're going to talk about some of the other features there, but it's not the only thing to bring you to downtown Pocomoke now.
Not anymore, no, absolutely not. And you're exactly right. The building was derelict for 20 years, was actually probably going to be demolished in the near future when the Discovery Center organization got a hold of it. It's a beautiful modern facility with a good character and bones to it. You got the 1920s warehouse building with everything inside is new. When I started, half the floors were dirt and there wasn't a drywall wall in the building. But there's so much more there now. There's the Discovery Center. There is the new Riverside Grill, which has just opened up next door to us. So they're actually right on the riverfront now. And that's a fantastic location. The Reeves family is operating that. They own the Backstreet Grill in Salisbury. And just in the short time that they've been open, the response has been tremendous from the community. But it's also a good amenity for our visitors. It kind of ties together a little bit more that you could do. So you could do lunch at the Riverside, the Discovery Center. There's the Bay Queen cruises that go up and down the river. There's a nature trail, a park. The Marva Theater is doing amazing things. And then you have the Causton House and the Sturgis one-room schoolhouse to round it all out. You can literally park your car and not have to leave until you were ready to go home that day. You could spend an entire day in downtown and do all sorts of things.
Well, I think I mentioned to you before we started taping, recently had occasion to spend the night at River House Bed and Breakfast in Snow Hill. Wonderful facility. And the next morning at breakfast, there was a couple from New Jersey sharing the table with us, and a family from Northern Virginia. And the couple was here primarily bicycling the region. They had bicycled to Pocomoke and gone into the Discovery Center, and the family from Virginia were doing the shore and avoiding the Ocean City pressure and congestion and all. And they had been to the Discovery Center, and they both were raving about their visit. They had thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad we did a good job. You know, and we hear that a lot, honestly. I mean, it exceeds what you might anticipate there, and we've put over 30,000 visitors through the center in just the few years that we've been open. Yesterday, I was talking to some folks at the counter, and they were from part of the family was from Pittsburgh, and they brought relatives who were visiting from Colombia, South America, and they all enjoyed it. And so it's a great place. It really is. Not only for people outside the area, but we get local folks too who come in, and it reinvents their picture of what Delmarva is, or brings to light certain aspects that they maybe hadn't thought about. So.
Well, our show here, of course, is PAC 14 serves primarily the Salisbury area. Although this is available over the internet, I guess, to anybody in the world.
Yep, I watch it.
But somebody from Salisbury can ride to Pocomoke. You can ride through Pocomoke on Route 13, and you're going to see the same thing you're going to see any place else on something like Route 13. Yep. You know, you're going to see the Lowe's store and the Walmart store and the fast foods and that sort of thing. Or you can take that one block off of Route 13 and go to downtown Pocomoke, and a remarkable collection of opportunities to you know, kind of reconnect with the community and that sort of thing. So it's worth the ride, really.
Absolutely.
So, current programs and activities at the Delmarva Discovery Center. Tell us more about what's happening this summer and the like.
Sure. Well, specifically this summer, we have all sorts of great programs going on. We have just now instituted additional hours. So on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we'll be open until 7 p.m. to extend your visit, and that'll go through Labor Day. Also, the Bay Queen has added additional cruises on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 1, 3, and 7 p.m. Also, every day, 7 days a week at 2 o'clock, there's a special educational program, whether it be watching a diver in our tank or seeing an animal presentation and a craft. There's a whole host of things to do of that nature, and you can find all that on our website at delmarvadiscoverycenter.org. But in addition to that, and I'm really excited about this one, we have got the historic skipjack Ida May docked at the Discovery Center. Now, they're going to be pulling out here shortly to take it back to Deal Island and prepare for the skipjack races over Labor Day weekend. But the boat is there as of this morning. And also we have the documentary done by the Gladden family. Tara and David Gladden developed a documentary about the restoration of this historic skipjack, and that's our special summer exhibit. And it's a really genuine, endearing story about this family's efforts to preserve this historic vessel that has been in their family for generations, and the whole process, and sort of how that relates to the culture of Deal Island and the Waterman community in the big picture. It's a fantastic exhibit, and we're really excited about that.
Now, you mentioned the Bay Queen. What's the Bay Queen? The
Bay Queen is a river cruise boat. On a regular schedule, Captain John Riggy will go up and down the river, and it's general admission. Folks can show up and pay their admission and go on the Bay Queen for an hour-and-a-half ride. It's a beautiful ride. The Pocomoke River is a very pristine river in the sense that there's not much development on it.
No.
The cypress swamp ecology is beautiful to look at, but it's also not great for development, that swampy, marshy environment. So it's been left, in many cases, you know, untouched. So you can have sort of a trip back in time as you travel on the Pocomoke River, and it's just lush and gorgeous.
So it goes downriver primarily from Pocomoke towards the bay?
Typically. He will do other things. He does eagle trips and things like that on a periodic basis. So the Bay Queen's a great opportunity, and if you take your Discovery Center receipt after you've been and visited us over to John at the Bay Queen, you'll get a 20% discount on your ride.
Great, great. And let's get back to the restaurant's a great new addition there.
Yes.
Right next door between the Discovery Center and the river, great views of the river and the historic bridge over the river there. Tell folks about the restaurant. It's the
Riverside Grill.
Riverside Grill.
Yep. The Riverside Grill it's brand new. It has fantastic views of the Pocomoke River. The way that it was designed, there's not a bad seat in the house. The food is excellent. If you've ever eaten at another Reeves establishment like the Backstreet Grill, it's very similar to that. Excellent food, great service, beautiful atmosphere and a view. And we couldn't be happier. We're also running some specials with them this summer to try and drive people to the restaurant as well as to provide benefits for those folks. So if you take your Discovery Center,
it makes it worth riding to Pocomoke just to do a little sampler there.
Exactly, exactly. If you take your Discovery Center receipt to the restaurant, you'll get a free dessert.
Sorry, gotta pause tape for a second. Make sure the building's not on fire. All right, way to keep your composure. Whenever you're ready.
Well, Brian, tell our viewers a little bit about the restaurant. That's a new feature there right next door to the Discovery Center.
Absolutely, and we're thrilled about it. The Reeves family, who run the Backstreet Grill in Salisbury, are running the Riverside Grill on the Pocomoke River. It has a fantastic view of the river. It's right there on the waterfront. They're doing a great job. It's just like all their other operations, quality food, great service, and a good atmosphere. And to top it all off, you have the beautiful scenic view of the Pocomoke River and the historic drawbridge. We're doing a lot of things to help promote the restaurant and for them to help promote the Discovery Center this summer through Labor Day. We've got a program running where if you bring your receipt from the Discovery Center to the restaurant, you'll get a free dessert. Or if you bring your receipt from the restaurant to the Discovery Center, we'll give you 20% off your admission as a way to tie the two together and to give people more incentives to come down and to check it out.
Okay, so if I don't particularly have a sweet tooth, I need to go to the restaurant first and have my lunch and then come over to your place and get the discount.
Exactly.
Or if I come to your place first, then I go over there and get my dessert, right?
Honestly, I think we're going to see it all come down to timing. How close to lunchtime is it when you're visiting the Discovery Center?
But you mentioned earlier, you're not the only reason to visit Pocomoke.
No,
Marva Theater is having programs on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Tell our viewers a little bit about Marva Theater.
Oh my gosh, if your viewers haven't been there in person, they need to go.
They really should. It's a wonderful performing venue.
Yeah, it is a beautiful facility, 1930s Art Deco, playhouse and cinema, beautifully restored. They've kept the original facade and look. All of the other amenities are brand new. They have a regular program of movies on the first and third weekend of every month, and then they also do live performances, whether it be plays, music, other types of entertainment on the alternating weekends. And then they also offer some pretty fantastic programs like theater camp for children. They do community plays and productions. I just saw It's a Wonderful Life there last Christmas. It's a great location, beautiful facility, and they can do more than just movies. So if you're interested in local theater, or if you just want a nice affordable movie experience, definitely check them out. I believe it's marvatheater.com. The movies are $5 admission, $1 popcorn, in a beautiful non-stadium seating atmosphere.
Let's talk about the future of the Discovery Center. What kind of plans do you have for the future?
Wow, the list is long, but we hope to keep growing our service to the public. We hope to keep growing our visitation and increasing the exposure, because the more we find that people discover us, the more we find that we have new opportunities open up as well. And it's amazing, as much as I'm traveling around and talking to people and promoting the Discovery Center, there are still people that we haven't reached or that aren't aware of what's going on. So that's an ongoing effort. But in addition to that, we hope to add some new exhibits down the road as funding allows for. We hope to add additional programs, increase our capacity for programs, to grow the programs that we have now. Essentially, once a month, except for July and August, we do some sort of a festival or event geared towards the community. We'd like to do more of that. We're having some new events in the future, more fundraising type events, friend builder, community outreach type events. And there's all sorts of things that we can do. We want to grow our volunteer base. We want to grow the service we give to the community and our guests.
I know the Community Foundation has had a couple of events there.
Yes.
You rent the facility for events?
We do, yes. You can rent the entire Discovery Center or just our meeting room for just a few hours or for an entire day. It's a great place to have a party.
So if somebody wants to have a party and in that area, and maybe expose their guests to something new, a little bit of history and culture, it's an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And with the restaurant immediately adjacent to us right now, that opens up a whole new set of opportunities for those types of programs. You could have a...
Imagine they'd love to cater.
Well, not only catering, but it really plays, I think, to both of our strengths. The Discovery Center is a fantastic place for a reception and some sort of a program, but for us to do a seated meal is a little bit of a challenge because of the scenic nature of the built-in exhibits. But you could parlay that right over to the restaurant, so you could have some sort of a program and a reception at the center, and then your meal or your conference over at the restaurant. It's really exciting. And we do that sort of thing on quite a regular basis. We also do birthday parties and sleepovers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So we do birthday parties for kids and families, and you can come and use the classroom area for your party. You can add an animal program. You can add a guided tour. Or you can bring your Cub Scout troop or Girl Scout troop or community group for a sleepover and have a night at the museum experience.
Night at the museum. Now, this is not a haunted museum.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's not anything like the movie.
Well, the exhibits don't come to life.
Okay. Yeah. Although you have some pretty lifelike exhibits. You mentioned the aquarium and a couple of others. You actually have what's close to, pretty close to a full-size riverboat in there.
Yes.
I don't know what that scale of that is. Is what, about 3/4 scale or something?
It's a museum scale. It's not an architectural scale. We've taken some artistic liberty to make it convincing and to show you the important aspects of the steamboat, but also large enough that you have a good experience on the inside.
Actually getting going on board. Yeah, it's great. It's interesting. I've always been fascinated every time I've been there. Now, something you didn't mention. You didn't mention your gift shop.
Not yet.
Okay. How's that for a leading question?
I love it.
Yeah, you really have a wonderful gift shop.
Yes.
If somebody's looking for unique gifts or some things that reflect the heritage and culture of the area, it's a great place to visit.
Absolutely. We offer a wide variety of books about Delmarva, cookbooks, original artwork by Delmarva artists. We also have a great selection of educational books and games for children. It really runs the gambit, and in Pocomoke, it certainly is one of the best places to go and look for a gift for somebody or to get something unique. And if you're visiting from out of town or you're coming from another location and you want to get a memento to take back, it's a great opportunity. And honestly, I don't know whether you know this or not, but the gift shop was the first thing to open at the Discovery Center. We opened the gift shop in 2008 as a vehicle to get people into the building and to expose them to the exciting activity that was happening with the exhibits even before they were complete and ready for the public. And we didn't have the big public grand opening until June of 2009.
Is that when it was?
Yep.
I remember.
So it's been a very important part of what we're doing. It's a great way to take your visit to the Discovery Center and extend it and take something home with you to continue learning or to get a day trip book and learn about other places to go when you're here visiting.
This November you will be open 3 years. But, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
It really does.
So,
now, you mentioned the one-room schoolhouse museum that's next door. Another, kind of neat thing. Tell our viewers about that.
The Sturgis one-room schoolhouse is the first African-American schoolhouse in Worcester County. And it's one of the last surviving one-room schoolhouses in the county. There's the Mount Zion one-room school in Snow Hill. But the Sturgis one-room schoolhouse is a small nonprofit. If you've ever met Jim and Sudie Gatling, who are the heart and soul of that location, you know what a charming and wonderful experience it is to go there. And for school groups, it's really eye-opening for those children who go through there to comprehend that at one point all of the grade levels were in one room together learning all of the subjects simultaneously with no smart boards and no computer lab. It's kind of really endearing to watch those kids experience that, and they do a wonderful job interpreting that. And they also have the Heritage House, which is another adjacent building to the one-room schoolhouse, that they interpret rural life and particularly Native American experience on Delmarva, and we've always tried to find ways to work with them. One of the things that we've been working on and just recently implemented, thanks to help from Worcester County Tourism and Lisa Challenger, who's amazing, is an audio tour program. Great. So when you come to the Discovery Center, you can get an audio tour not only of our exhibits, but there's a segment for the one-room schoolhouse, there's a segment for the Costin House, and as that develops, there'll be a walking tour of downtown that's added as well. And you can come to the Discovery Center and pick those up, and it just is another way to bring in the whole community. Again, part of the economic revitalization. Now that we've got thousands of people coming a year, the goal now is to move them around the town and have them have a wonderful experience, and also have them see what other things there are to do there.
We have a viewer that's interested in getting more actively involved, is interested in preserving the history and culture of the Delmarva Peninsula. How can they get involved with you?
Well, first, have them call me.
Okay.
410-957-9933 is the number, but we have all sorts of volunteer and participation opportunities, whether it be leading a group tour for seniors or children, helping out in the museum store. There's a tremendous operation behind the scenes for live animal care and live animal programming that we always can use help with. We have special events and programs that they can get involved in. In a physical sort of participative way. We also have a lot of committees that we could use some help with if people bring some certain experience that we're interested in. And then there are the traditional ways, membership. That's a huge way that people can get involved. It's not only a benefit for them, but it's a benefit for us to have them in our friend list, so to speak, and hopefully they come and take advantage of the programs. And there's also the traditional donations, bequeath, and those other methods of giving.
Other opportunities to support.
Exactly. Well, we also have that fantastic endowment fund that we're growing at the Community Foundation as well, and they could participate in that.
Well, we love having you all as a partner. Now, as we wrap up here, what is Stars, Soul, Rock and Roll?
Rock and Roll. Stars, Soul, and Rock and Roll is a tongue twister.
Yes, it is. That's why I had to make sure I was watching my notes when I brought that up.
The Stars, Soul, and Rock and Roll Fall Fundraising Event is going to be a fantastic island theme party at the beautiful Nassawango Country Club right out on the riverfront. It's going to be live music, entertainment, fantastic food. It's a fundraising event. It's a way to bring people together in a fun and social way that hopefully by the end of the night they've learned something new about the Discovery Center, and it helps to support our mission as well to provide programs and opportunities to the public to learn about Delmarva. $75 per person. There are sponsorship opportunities if your business might like to have some recognition for supporting such a great organization and a wonderful event. I'd be happy to talk to you about those as well. And you can go to our website and buy tickets or find out more information.
And that's coming up on September the 15th.
September 15th.
That's a Saturday night?
That's a Saturday night, September 15th, 2012. The event starts at 7 p.m. and it's going to be 6 hours of dancing and fun and entertainment on the beautiful Pocomoke River in an island-themed atmosphere.
Stars, Souls, and Rock and Roll.
It's going to be a good time.
It is. It really is.
We do some amazing events, but I'm really excited about this one, about the scale of it and about the location. And we've sold 130 tickets already.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be a sellout. So I wish you well with that.
So thank you.
Anything we've missed?
I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Okay, great.
But I would like to thank the Community Foundation and Spicer for everything that they have done for the Discovery Center and for all of the Eastern Shore community. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. You're very kind, and it's been great working with the folks at the Discovery Center, and I look forward to continuing to visit. So thanks for being with us here.
Thanks for having me. And
thank you for watching Community Foundation Spotlight on PAC 14. I'm Spicer Bell. president of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. I'll be retiring soon. I'll be passing this microphone to Doug Wilson in the near future, and as I understand, they'll be continuing this program, and we hope you will continue to be regular viewers of PAC 14. You'll be regular viewers of Community Foundation Spotlight, and remember, don't just sit there. Get out and volunteer.
Good. Brian, if I can get you looking at the Spicer for our
Sure.
website. Nice smile there. That's good. I give a little head nod.
This is the bobblehead sequence.
Yep.
All right, Spicer, if you could look at Brian for me. That's good. Let's see if I got any questions here. Brian, I need you, let's see, what did I write down? Oh, he mentioned PAC 14 and being live on the web, and you told Spicer I watch it. I'd like to put that on there. So just look at Spicer for me, and he's talking about PAC 14, and you say I watch it.
I watch it.
Good. And let's see, about anything else? What is your website?
www.delmarvadiscoverycenter.org, and the phone number is 410-957-9933.
Any other information that I need to put on there that I got the September 15th, Saturday, 7 p.m. Stars, Soul, and Rock and Roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
This show should start running next Thursday.
Okay.